From a city that's played host to 10 Super Bowls, here's a look inside the Superdome in New Orleans. Tonight, we'll have the final 2 games of this kickoff weekend, and we begin with a great one here between the Tampa Bay Buccaneers and the New Orleans Saints. Kicker for the Saints, Will Lutz has it teed up, and here we go from New Orleans. And no run back on this one, so the new season will begin at the 25-yard line. First play, first pass for Brady. And he's taken down here by the Saints. Gywu with the effort there to earn the sack. How about the defense there trying to set the tone on the very first play of the game?
Yeah, there's a little bit of a glow here tonight because they brought the heat right out of the gate. What a good job establishing a tone for this one.
Another try after the first down sack. Brady, a quick throw knocked away and incomplete.
And this drive is almost over before it began thanks to a great defensive effort. Sack on first down, followed by an incompletion, one more good rep, and they get off the field.
I don't think this is the script they had in mind for their opening drive. This is 3rd and long. And now the Saints are going to take a timeout on defense. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this first quarter. An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. To throw, it's Brady. He's going to sling this deep downfield. He's got him in. Complete. Touchdown, Tampa Bay. We thought they may be a quick strike offense this. Lightning quick, not bad for the first drive of the year.
That has to actually exceed expectations, doesn't it? Because most teams want to be a quick strike offense. They want to score as quickly as possible and run a defense into submission. What they have to understand is, while they got it done there, long way to go. Don't get discouraged if you have to run a few more plays on your next drive.
And Johnson's extra point up and good. And that makes the score 7-0.
Saints, nothing.
The Bucs ready for the kickoff. And here we go. It's in the air. And a fair catch signaled for and taken successfully.
The Saints take over 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line.
And now the Bucs deciding to take a timeout defensively. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this first quarter. They start the drive on the ground. Kamara. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. First play of the drive goes the wrong way. Here's 2nd and 12. Play action. Now Wilson. Finds Hill on the crossing route. Complete. So just 3 yards on the completion there. And that's going to set up a tough 3rd and 9. So there you go, Charles. His first NFL pass, and it goes for a completion.
And you know that they thought about this before even calling the play, right? Let's get him his first completion. Let's get it out of the way because we expect bigger things from him going forward, but take care of the small stuff first.
And it looks like we've got a dime set here defensively. 6 DBs in the game. Here's Wilson. Trying to get it to Thomas, and it's intercepted. Picked by Antoine Winfield Jr. And the Bucs are going to take possession of the football. That's not one that he's going to want to remember, but he had to get it out of the way at some point. His first career interception.
And if he's the guy that they think he is, he's not laughing it off, but he's also not going to let it affect him as the game proceeds. He's going to go back out there, still be the same confident kid, the reason that they drafted him, and go out and play.
They'll send a receiver in motion to the left. First down, here's White. And just no chance of turning the corner. He can only get back to the line of scrimmage. 2nd and 10 coming up.
I know that speed is the hallmark of today's NFL game, but the key to good rushing defense is still having your linebackers set the edge.
Officially nothing on that last run. They'll try again 2nd and 10. They stay on the ground with White. The second down play not much better than the first. Just a gain of 1 there. First down marker at the 31. It's 3rd down. To throw is Brady. Complete right side to Otten. And he's going to be stopped here a few yards short of the first as the tackle is made at the 33. So the completion good for 6 yards. And that's going to bring up a 4th down.
I thought maybe when he caught it, he'd have a good chance of getting that first down, but that's a nice job of holding him up and preventing him from getting to the sticks.
And Johnson's kick is good, and that will extend their lead even further. So, Charles, they get to them with their first turnover of the game and then make it hurt a little bit extra with a field goal.
And anytime you give the ball up, what's the first thing a coach tells his defense? Don't let them score off of this. You've got to put out the fire. In fact, in 2021, that's what one NFL coach termed his defense. The firemen. Go out there, guys, and don't let them put some points on the board.
And no return on this one. It's a fair catch, a signal for and take it. The Saints offense on the field, ready to get their drive started. They find themselves down 10-0 early after the interception on their opening drive led to a field goal.
So now they've got to pick up the mantle a little bit. You mentioned the team's down 10. They've helped contribute to that. How are they going to get their team back into this ball game? Run the offense that you think is going to be effective and execute it at a high level.
One play has them up past the 40 already, and another 1st and 10. From the gun, it's a run for Kamara. Looking for a seam, but finding none. He'll get back to the line of scrimmage, and that's it. No gain on the play there. 2nd down.
as usual, the hallmark of a good run defense? Linebackers making plays near the line of scrimmage. Absolutely nowhere to run there.
So after the run for no gain, here's 2nd and 10. Here's Wilson. And his throw's going to be incomplete.
As a defensive back, you have some weapons at your disposal that we don't often talk about. And you can read the receiver's eyes, you can read his hands, and you know that the arrival of the ball is imminent. And that allows you to make a play on it and oftentimes knock it away.
They had the incomplete pass on 2nd down. Now they need a big play here. 3rd and 10. From the gun, it's Wilson. He is going to find Hill here. And this is going to lead to another first down as the tackle's made at the Bucs 40. 17 yards on the pickup there. The drive will continue.
And that's well executed there on 3rd down. And I love the confidence that they had to let their tight end try and find some space in the middle of the field, right in their quarterback's line of vision. And QBs love to make that easy throw, and they hooked up there for a first down.
Now Wilson. Oh, this is intercepted, intended for Hill. Picked up by Sean Murphy-Bunting. And it's a pick 6. He brings it back to the house for a Buccaneer TD. Boy, this defense is circling early. A pick 6 there, and they are off to the races here in this first quarter.
And, partner, when you get off to a first-quarter lead like this, it really frees you up defensively to take some chances, really apply some heat. And that was just a tremendous play to pick that ball off and bring it back for a score.
So an early advantage now and a good one. 17-0 our score as they kick this one away.
Good catch made at the 25-yard line. The Saints take over 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line.
Getting set for their next drive, the New Orleans offense. And, Charles, nothing like squaring off with a division opponent, a division rival in Week 1. Do you like that they are matching up this early, or would you prefer a game like this be a few weeks down the road?
I actually like the early matchup for a few reasons, Brandon. First of all, it allows you to see that the entire offseason and know, hey, right out of the gate, we're playing a division game. Second part is it spreads them out a little bit. If you just have them all bunched up at the end of the year, that's not as much fun watching teams try to survive that gauntlet when you do have injuries down the stretch. And last but not least, let's face it, we're TV people. What a great game to sell right out of the gate.
Let's go. Well, they had the run for no gain. Now they'll try again from the 25 on 2nd and 10. Again, it's Kamara. And he's going to get a good gain of 9 here up to the 34. That time, the right guard sending him backwards.
And so many different types of guys rotate in on the defensive line now, depending on situations. You can get the bulky guy, the fast guy. No matter what, though, you can't hold him.
Now they face a 2nd and long following the holding penalty. They'll run out of the gun with Kamara. He'll get 3, but it leaves him with a big hole here on 3rd and very long.
Some of the most unselfish players on any football team, defensive tackles, because we ask them to just eat up blocks and allow other people to make tackles. And when he can make a play himself, as we just saw there, that's a big day.
In motion right is Thomas. Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. Got an open man. It's Josh Palmer. And mark him down way up close to the 40 at the 39. That was no 3rd and 2. That was 3rd and 16, but they get the conversion anyway.
You can almost hear the sigh of relief coming from their sideline and from their point on the field, because this has been a tough start for them thus far. A much-needed first down there. They needed something good to happen. Plays like that will continue to help them dig out of this hole.
Nowhere to go that time. He maybe got a yard up to the 40.
No doubt about it. A really nice job there by the defense, not allowing him to get to the perimeter. But that means your defensive ends, your outside linebackers, the guys that you pay big money to sack the quarterback, they also have to have interest in the running game as well. And they did a nice job there of holding the point of attack and not giving ground.
Here's 2nd and 9, just a yard on that last run. Throwing is Wilson. Oh, the Buccaneer pressure too much. Down he goes. Multiple players combined for their team's first sack of the game. Not the start to this one that any quarterback would want or envision. Remember, he had the pick 6, and here he ends up on his backside.
And you have to wonder to yourself, okay, after throwing the pick 6, did he get too careful with the football and not deliver downfield and take that sack? They've got to make sure that he's really into this game.
And the Bucs with an extra defender in the secondary now on 3rd down. Here's Wilson to throw. And he is going to go down. They sack him on the final play of the first quarter. 17-0 our score after 1.
Saints nothing.
On 4th down on is the punter, Colby Wadman. Back deep, Jakeem Graham. And a fair catch called for and made just inside the 35-yard line. A 41-yard punt there with no return. And the Bucs will get ready to go on offense. The Bucs offense set to begin their next possession. Last time out, you remember their drive stalled, but thanks to their kicker, booted a long field goal to at least get them 3. Now here they'll try to do better and find the end zone.
And in our experience, how much fun is it for coaches to know that they've got a kicker who can nail it from long distance? Now the hard part is, as an offensive play caller, you don't want that in your head too much where you're relying on it, and he goes out and gets the job done for them. But I'm quite sure he would be content to just kick extra points from here on out.
Yeah, absolutely no question. I think his teammates would be okay with him just kicking the extra points as well. On 2nd down, they'll run with White. It'll be a loss of a couple on the play, so now 3rd down coming up.
And that's what I'd like to see out of this defense, a little fire, a little toughness. It hasn't been the best first half for them, but they did do a nice job there, forcing a loss on that play.
And for the Saints here on 3rd down, an extra defensive back on the field. Brady now to throw. This one complete to Scott Miller. And he is going to have the Buccaneers first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
Well, things are definitely going right for them here in the first half. Pick it down, any down, even 3rd down, no problem. They get a connection there and pick up a fresh set of downs, continuing to move the ball.
Brady gives this to White. And nothing much materializing there on the first down run. He'll get a couple, and that's it.
They suspected that there was a power play up the middle coming at them, and boy, were they right. That defense got downhill in a hurry and limited them to just a couple on first down.
The last run got a couple. Here's 2nd and 8. Here's Brady. Oh, that's into a double team, and it's intercepted. Picked off by the linebacker, Demario Davis. And the Saints are going to take over here up near the 40. So really the first speed bump that this offense has encountered. They've had the rule of the roost here in this first half, but now slowed up just a bit by the interception.
And there's a chance that that's a wake-up call for them because you don't want to go on autopilot too early. That team on defense is capable of making some plays similar to the one they made right there.
The Saints offense on the field, ready to get their drive started. And we don't want to call this desperation time, especially in the second quarter, but you're down.
Want to.
I know, but let me finish.
Okay, my bad.
You're down 3 scores already. You've done nothing offensively, nothing on the scoreboard. That's not a good combination.
I think you just called it desperation time. I think you did. But let's face it, you mentioned this to me in a break earlier in the game. The energy level hasn't been there right from the start. We've noticed that. They've got to find a way to get on their toes and start punching instead of retreating, to use a boxing analogy.
They run it again with Kamara. And he's got some space here. And they'll get this well past midfield before being stopped just before the 35. That burst good for 20 and a first down. Seemed like a couple sets of eyes were on the quarterback, so he decided, hey, I'm going to hand this off. Got a good gain out of it.
And you know you need good blocking up front in order to gain yardage, but every one of these RPOs, if you do it right and they look the same, whether it's handed off inside or the quarterback keeps it, that allows you to fool the defense so often. And in this case, fooled them with the inside run.
Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9. Going quickly here to Thomas. And this play will be blown up. He'll lose yardage back at the 38. It'll be a loss of 2, maybe 3 on the play. And they'll be facing a 3rd and 12. Another completion there, and what a big moment in a young quarterback's life, that first NFL start. And Charles, obviously they want him to win games, but if they're looking at him under a microscope in this first month or so, what do you think they're hoping to see from him?
Well, for every question they'll have for him, they should have for themselves as a coaching staff, because it's not just how quickly can he learn the offense, it's what they can teach him, right? How can he build a relationship with his receivers? And, of course, how open is he to learning? And, of course, how open are they to giving him things that he can put in place on the field?
On 3rd down, Wilson. And down he goes, a Buccaneer sack. It'll be a loss of 8 on the sack, and it's going to lead him to 4th down. And a nice play there defensively. And this is a new acquisition, Charles. You and I were talking about it pregame. Just signed as a free agent earlier this week.
Love when they pick up those guys with something to prove, because any guy who's a free agent off the street, no one else wanted him. So he wants to prove to the rest of the league, you should have signed me first.
The Bucs take over 1st and 10 at their own 12-yard line.
The Bucs offense set to begin their next possession. And we'll see if they can bounce back from that last drive. In particular, if they can bounce back at the quarterback position, Charles, after throwing their first interception of the ball game.
Yeah, some guys, you know they're going to want to try and get a big play right away and take control back. Others, they're going to look to hit a couple shorter passes, get a little momentum back that way.
But for the defense, that goal's not changing a bit. They want another pick.
You're exactly right about that. In fact, you've got to watch them a little bit, because in coverage, they may cut down their gaps a little bit, maybe their splits a little bit, in order to try and get to the ball even faster.
2 minutes remaining in this first half of football. We remind you that coming up at the half, we'll hand things off to Jonathan Coachman, standing by in Orlando. He'll have scores from earlier today, plus a look ahead as well, so you won't want to miss that. A lot going on here in week 1. Miller in motion right. They'll go up the middle with White. And not a whole lot to speak of there as they'll bring him down shy of the 20. 2 yards on the carry there, and it's going to lead him to third down.
Now, that's a mountain of a man that just made that stop, isn't it? But he's more than that. This guy's nimble and quick. More than a space eater, he just made a great play there.
Coming up here looking for 3 yards to pick up the first. They'll send the big tight end in motion right. Brady going to try and throw on third down. In trouble here, and down he goes. Back at the 8-yard line. Loss of 10 as multiple defenders get to it. Now we'll get a quick timeout called by New Orleans, number 2, as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. Here comes the Buccaneers punter now, as his first punt will come from inside his own end zone. Taking a couple yards shy of midfield. Now a hit and a loose football. And his guys are going to get the football at their own 47-yard line.
I don't know why, but it's always agonizing to me to see a guy make a mistake in this phase of the game, because you can it's all on him. All eyes there. He's got a chance to make a punt return, and instead he ends up putting it on the carpet.
Puts it on the carpet. The little rubber pellets shoot up. Never a good sign for a returner on this field turf surface.
No, not at all. And a bunch of them go up when they're all trying to get to the football, don't they?
They start to drive with White. Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9. Now Brady. A throw over the middle, taken in by Troutman. And they'll get this down to the 42-yard line. The Bucs going to go ahead and use the second of their timeouts, as they'll stop it with just over 40 seconds to go in the first half. Brady now on first down. And intercepted. Wilson's third of the game. Picked off by Paulson Adebo. And the Saints are going to take over at their own 41. First and 10 here. You know, if they could just get 3 out of this, there's something about narrowing it to a 2-score game at half that makes it feel like much less of an obstacle. Kamara up the middle. And he sneaks his way forward only for a couple here. 2nd down. The last run good for 2. Here's 2nd and 8. Now it's Wilson. They'll get this out to Kamara. And he gets this to the other side of midfield across the 45 before going out. It'll be a Saints first down on a pickup of 13.
Well, these guys have definitely been outplayed in the first half, but I like their countenance. I like the way that they're having panicked out there, the way they're carrying themselves. They were starting to move the ball, and what you have to do, maintain your poise and start to put together some drives.
On first down, Wilson. And he's going to be sacked. They sack him back right at the midfield stripe. Now a timeout signaled for, and they'll get it with 10 seconds to go before halftime. So that now 4 first-half sacks. This pass rush has been unrelenting.
And, partner, you hear that sound of paper being ripped to shreds? That's the game plan that they've had so far, because they've got to say to themselves right now, we have to do something differently.
Pass protection has been a problem all night long as they come up facing 2nd and a bundle. A 10th carry for Kamara. Oh, he's got a little daylight. Past the 20. 5 touchdown, New Orleans. Alvin Kamara with career touchdown number 91. He joins a group that includes Tony Dorsett and Isaac Bruce, among others. And the Saints are able to cut into this lead in the final seconds of the first half. The way this one was going, you just got the sense they needed something before half. They've at least got something on the board now. Still trailing, but a good sign.
That takes me back to our preseason tour of NFL camps. You remember we talked with that one coach who said his emphasis this year was scoring in the last 2 minutes of a half, heading into the locker room. This hits it right there. Take that momentum, take that good feeling, and take the locker room, regroup, and start over. They got it here.
They did indeed, and a lot of football, full half to be played. The Bucs offense set to begin their next possession. And they'll have time for one play. There's 2 seconds on the clock. The final shot before half for Brady. Airing this one out for Evans. And that is incomplete. Took a shot there on first down, but he couldn't reel it in. So we reach halftime here in our first Monday Nighter of the season. As we'll get you over to Orlando, where standing by is Jonathan Coachman. He has our EA Sports halftime report. And we welcome you back now. Alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gunn, getting set for quarter number 3 here. We'll see if week 1 fatigue becomes any kind of a factor as we are back underway in the second half. Getting set for their next drive, the New Orleans offense. By no means certainly are they out of this contest. 2-score game start of the third quarter, but you feel like if they don't get points and then they give up points, then it can become a slippery slope. This feels like an important possession. Yeah, and that slope becomes even more slick if you come away empty-handed on this drive, because then you give them a chance to extend their lead. You need some kind of points here, even if it's just a field goal. It's what I call one of those calming drives. Try and slow things down a little bit. They had the run for no gain. Now they'll try again from the 25 on 2nd and 10. Now Wilson. To the right side and complete to Thomas. And they're able to get this one across the 35. 2 catches in the first half. Now he's got a third here, and it's good for a first. A nice completion there for the first down. And Charles, you think about the quarterbacks of recent vintage that have been thrust into action week 1. It's no guarantee of future success, but we sure have seen some good ones. We certainly have, partner. How about Joe Burrow with the Bengals in 2020? He was excellent. Kyler Murray with the Cardinals. The best part about his game, has his team run the brink of the playoffs. And Deshaun Watson has won division titles after having started from day 1. On 1st and 10, it's Wilson. Oh, this one incomplete. The pressure got to him as he released it. And it's 2nd down. Well, they certainly aren't letting up today, partner, because they've forced big turnovers already. And it's been incredibly tough for them to get yards against, let alone put points up on the board. After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. They'll pound it up the middle with Kamara. And the big boys up front, they're going to stop him right at the line. And the big fella stuffed that one up in a big way. I think doubling him has to be a priority because you can't move up to the next level if you don't take care of him first. This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on third down. To throw is Wilson. And he's going to be intercepted for the third time thus far. Picked off by Jamel Dean. And it's a pick six. He brings it back to the house for a Buccaneer TD. Well, Charles, just some visibly frustrated players and coaches on that sideline right now. Halftime adjustments didn't work. The turnover problems continuing here in the second half, and the defense now sitting pretty comfortably as a result of that pick six.
I think that's a great observation too, Brandon, because they did make adjustments at halftime. But how about this other group staying a step ahead despite whatever happened in that other locker room? No surprise they're leading, and it's appropriate that those defenders got to add to the lead directly.
So they throw the pick six. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air. The Saints offense on the field ready to get their drive started. I kind of feel like they've reached a do-or-die point in this game, Charles. If they're going to try to pull off an impressive comeback, it has to start right here, right now.
Yeah, now they've got a final chance to get out of this situation, but they also understand they've got to move the ball and move it fast. In addition, they need to save as much time so they can get 2 more possessions.
They're backed up here with a 1st and 20 now after the holding penalty. Throwing, Winston. To the sideline, and that is a heck of a catch as he was able to get both feet in. Call it a gain of 12, but of course not a first down due to the previous penalty.
I do have to admit, I like it when it all comes together. When the top part, catching the football, right, whether you're catching it with your hands or cradling it, comes together with the legs, in this case the feet, doing a little toe tap to stay in bounds and complete the catch.
And a great job by our crew on the camera shot. Love when you see the grass or on the field turf, those rubber pellets flying up. Great catch. They'll break the huddle, come up on 2nd and 8 at the 27-yard line. From the gun, Winston. Oh, the Buccaneer pressure too much. Down he goes. Shaquille Barrett now with his 2nd sack here on opening night.
So one quick, easy analysis about why they've struggled so far. They keep putting themselves in 3rd and long situations. They just took another sack right there.
And the offensive film session tomorrow may be a little longer than it normally is.
Not a lot of positive grades will be handed out thus far.
So now after the sack, Winston and the Saints needing to figure out what to do. Tough play, 3rd and long. On 3rd down, here's Kamara. And a good job defensively. They stop him short of the 1st at the 32. Give him 8 yards on the carry, and that's going to bring up 4th down. Decided to hand it off that time on the run-pass option.
Appeared to be an easy decision. Just gave it inside. Nice steady gain.
And on fourth down, on is the punt team sending this one away. And a fair catch signaled for and taken just out. Line.
The Bucs take over first and 10 at their own 23-yard line.
The Bucs offense set to begin their next possession. They begin the drive on the ground. It's White. And he'll get what he can up the middle. 3 yards. That'll bring up second down.
Sometimes with the running game, you've just got to stick with it. Look, it's the third quarter. No time to panic. But that also doesn't mean you just do it the same way you've been doing it the entire ball game. Maybe change up some blocking assignments or run a few different plays, but stay with the overall essence of the running game.
Opting to run again here with White. And he's able to take this one up to the 35-yard line. That one a first down pickup of 8.
Running lanes were at a premium in the first half, but he's able to find some room there, and he's hoping that that's a precursor of a big second half.
Altogether, a pretty shaky start to the year for this defense as they defend another first and 10. On play action, now Brady. A quick throw there going to be batted away and incomplete.
Yes, sir. How about an attaboy there on first down? Got his hand in and knocked it away.
Adam Troutman, the intended receiver, but it's going to be second down. Play action, now it's Brady. And this one caught by Cameron Brate. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. First catch of the new season for him, and he picks up the first.
I'll tell you what, a lot of those mid-range throws have been available because sometimes teams get too concerned about the deep ball and they leave too much space in front of them. And these guys have been taking advantage so far.
Couple of first downs to kick off the drive. Here's first and 10 up at the 46. Going right side is White. And he's going to take this across the 50 and into Saints territory. It's a 7-yard carry to set them up with a 2nd and 3. Now, they struggled to get him rolling on the ground in the first half, and that's sort of continuing here in the third quarter.
Yeah, but I don't think it's time to abandon the running game. I would say keep feeding the horse, and I believe he'll eventually reward them, especially as we get deeper in the game.
Now a give up the middle. This is White, and he'll be taken down at the 44-yard line.
They're in a pretty good spot right now with a convincing lead. I think this is where they put on the boxing gloves, start to try and pound them into submission.
And the offensive line, they've controlled this game. I don't see why that trend would change now. On first and 10, here's Brady. Going across the formation, there's Otten with it. And he's going to be taken down at about the 33.
I'll give them credit for a good read right there because they read the man coverage on the right side and sent the tight end a few steps down the field. and then angled him to the left on a crossing route. And he was able to get enough separation on this play to turn it into a nice gain.
So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33. They run straight ahead here with White. And he'll follow his blockers there all the way down to the 23-yard line. 42 yards rushing on 12 carries for him now.
Looks to me like maybe there's a little attrition setting in with this drive, because when you see that type of a run, I get the feeling the defense getting a little bit tired.
And that's the last thing they need, especially when they look up at the scoreboard. They go right back to White here on 1st down. Alontae Taylor up to make the tackle.
Well, you certainly have to give a little credit here because they're playing this game now at their pace. This is ball control football, sustained runs, taking their time and making it work.
The run got 4. Now they deal with a 2nd and 6. In motion left goes a tight end. To throw on 2nd and 6. Brady. He's got Otten. And able to get him down, but he does reach the 5. Now they'll bring one of their tight ends in motion right. A quick throw by Brady complete. And in for the Buccaneers touchdown. Adam Troutman, a 5-yard touchdown. And the Bucs are looking good here in the season opener as they're able to extend their lead. Out for the PAT, here's Johnson. And the lead is now 24.
Makes the score Buccaneers 31, Saints 7.
The Bucs ready for the kickoff. And here we go. It's in the air.
Fair catch, made on 24-yard line. The Saints take over 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line.
Getting set for their next drive, the New Orleans offense. Well, this has been a tough one for them, Charles. They've struggled really on both sides of the football. And one thing that's really plagued them, the turnovers. They've had issues keeping the football in their possession.
And every game that's ever been played, all coaches talk about taking care of the football and limiting turnovers. And in this one, after we saw that first turnover, we worried that things would snowball, and it certainly did, especially on the scoreboard.
Saints 7.
A good run got 7 on 1st. Here's 2nd and 3. Play fake. Winston. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. And he has a big gain inside the 40 before being dropped. A gain there of 30 big ones.
At this stage, there's nothing left to do but to keep firing. And if you're a play caller, you may go off your sheet and use some things maybe you hadn't planned to in this game. Maybe that was one of them there that worked.
Jameis now on 1st down. And now the ball's out. Fumble near midfield. And it's picked up by the Buccaneers. And he returns it to the end zone. A fumble recovery touchdown for the Bucs. So this defense clicking early in the year. Week 1, the return for a touchdown.
The organization made a concerted effort in the offseason to improve this defense. I have to say they like the early returns.
And Johnson's extra point up and good. And this one was over a while ago as they just add on to that big lead. And you can bet they're preaching two hands on the ball here as the kick's away following that fumble return. And not willing to risk another fumble. He'll sit on this one. It's a touchback. The Saints offense on the field, ready to get their drive started. And whatever promise they showed in the preseason has not translated into week one because they have not been particularly competitive here at home, no less. These fans just kind of beside themselves right now. And down he goes, a Buccaneer sack. Vita Vea in there to drop him, and that is the 7th time tonight that he has gone down.
Pardon my vocabulary isn't that great, but to me, there's only one word that fits this front seven today, and that's dominant. 4 and 5 sacks is already rare in one game. Getting to more than 6 in one contest while winning by this many points, an absolutely astounding effort by every player involved.
To try again after the sack, Winston. That's caught right side by Palmer. It's a pickup of 12, and that'll set up a 3rd down.
And that was yardage that they needed there after the sack on 1st down. They didn't get all of it back, but now they look at 3rd down as a manageable situation, one that they have a much better chance of picking up.
The Saints on 3rd down, lacking much success, just 2 for 7 to this point. This will be 3rd and 5. Jameis to throw it. Open man is Michael Thomas. And he is going to have a Saints 1st down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion. With this game well in hand, perhaps we are seeing the coverage lighten up a little bit as they got burned there a bit for 1st down.
But we certainly know the coach isn't happy along the sideline because he certainly wants them to finish this one out the way they started it. He doesn't want to give up any soft completions, no late points. He wants his lead to stay right where it is.
Throwing on 1st down, but this one winds up to be incomplete.
They lead big, and a major part of that has been how they've taken their play to a whole new level this 2nd half. No points allowed since the break, and you can add another incompletion to the total number that they forced in this runaway contest.
They'll throw again. Winston in trouble, and he's taken down. Call it a loss of 5, a big sack to bring up 3rd down.
Well, have a game, sir, why don't you? A sack earlier and an exclamation point here late in the game, and this one won by his side of the ball. They played so well, surprised he didn't get his 2nd sack earlier.
So now after the sack, Winston and the Saints needing to figure out what to do. Tough play, 3rd and long. Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. That's complete to his running back, Kamara. And he'll take this to the other side of midfield before going out of bounds. Boy, a nice play there as they wind up converting on 3rd and 15.
And I know you can't really see it, but that play spells frustration with a capital F for the guys on defense. They covered everyone else, end up going to the running back out of the backfield, and he picks up a back-breaking 1st down.
The 1st down throw for Winston. He's got a man, complete. And they move this all the way down to the 9. 39 yards there, a big one. Now, defensively, I know they have the comfortable lead here in the 4th, but they do not want to give up big plays like that.
They want to finish strong. So oftentimes in this situation, you tighten up underneath in your coverage, and you bring your safeties back. They can pick up anything that leaks through. But in the meantime, upfield, you're making plays on the football.
Escaping the pressure right. And he just throws this one away. Smart decision here this close to the end zone, and it brings up second down.
And that's another play that's painted the picture of this game overall. It's been a blowout. It's been continually fueled by big turnovers and stops for one side and an inability to advance the ball from the other.
Another shot from the 9 on 2nd and goal. To throw is Winston. Back of the end zone. Could he get his feet down? No, it's incomplete. Defensively, you look at the numbers. Another incomplete pass that we just saw, and they're under 200 yards passing for the game, so they've done their job on that side of the ball.
Yeah, recently I was actually working a game where a quarterback had a streak of 5 straight games without a 200-yard game. And that was a big talk, both in his town and amongst his team. How do we get the passing game going? So
looking for Thomas. He's got him. Touchdown, New Orleans. A 9-yard touchdown there. And the Saints get a small measure of revenge as they cut into this fourth-quarter deficit. Well, this opening game has certainly not gone their way to this point, but, you know, that touchdown, maybe a glimmer of hope for the long season ahead.
And no one in this league likes to talk about moral victories. No one likes to really just say, okay, well, maybe something went right. But you're exactly right about that. A little glimmer there. Maybe they can carry it over moving forward.
After the touchdown, Lutz to kick it off.
Your catch, made over 24-yard line. The Bucs take over 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line.
The Bucs offense set to begin their next possession. It's been a dominant performance to this point, Charles, and this is probably exactly how they scripted this and envisioned it. They got a 3-score lead, fourth quarter, and a chance if they want to continue to pour it on here.
It is their call, isn't it? I mean, the way that they have taken on this game and the way that they have carried this game and have dominated this game, you're exactly right. Do what you want down the stretch. We are in the era of, hey, if you don't want us to do this to you, then you need to stop us. Their call to finish this one off.
They wind up losing a couple there, so they go behind the original line of scrimmage, and now 3rd and 11 coming up.
Now that's a nice play. Got me fired up, partner. But can they do it back-to-back plays? All the training that you go through as a defense for these situations, when you have to get the ball back, everything you go through, holding up the runner, raking at the football, getting to the passer, knocking it out of his hands, whatever way, they have to get the ball back.
Now can they stand tall again for a huge fourth-quarter stop? And he is going to have a Bucs first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion. Well, this one probably not the close game you would expect or hope to see in prime time, CD, but of course that wasn't their intent in preparing for this one. They said they felt like their offense was ready to put up some points, and my goodness, it has been a dominant display in front of a national audience.
Yeah, they thought it, and it certainly came to fruition, didn't it? They've been dominant in so many ways in this one. If you weren't paying attention to this group before, you certainly are now after seeing this type of victory from them.
And he can only manage to get a couple. 2nd and 8 coming up.
Brandon, I've got to think this offensive line has got some smiles on its faces. And I know it sounds crazy, but they practiced for this back in training camp. They knew they'd be in situations where it'd be extra defenders in the box coming after them, trying to keep them from locking down a game. Right now, they want to show the world they're up to the challenge.
They keep it on the ground. White again. And he is not going to go anywhere. They're going to get to him behind the line, and that is going to get us to the 2-minute warning. third down, a run from White. And he'll get it out near the 40 to the 39. And whistles, and we're going to have another stoppage of play as they call the timeout on defense with 1:53 left.
Well, the guys who are paid to make the tackles deserve some kudos there, but I think they deserve even bigger ones because in that situation, they had to be thinking pass. Loosened up defense, going to pass coverage. Instead, maybe they surprised them a little bit running the ball, yet they rallied to it and stopped them well short of a first down.
On fourth down, the punt team is on as this is sent away. This is brought in at the 21. They'll score that a 36-yard punt, and the Saints will take over with a first down and 10. Getting set for their next drive, the New Orleans offense. And no doubt this is not the way that they had hoped to open their season. Thoroughly outplayed here in front of the national audience. Throwing to start the drive, but that one incomplete.
It's been clear in this matchup which side has been the more physical one. It's been this defense. And here's another example on that last play.
So now they'll come up on 2nd and 10, once again from the 28. Now Thomas will come in motion right. A second down throw for Winston. Oh, the Buccaneer pressure too much. Down he goes. Levante David, his second sack of the night.
Remember, throughout my career here in defensive coaches always say, guys, you got to earn the right to rush the passer. Well, they put themselves in a great spot with this big lead, and they know they've got to throw the ball.
These pass rushers have to be salivating. It is pin your ears back time indeed. So now after the sack, Winston and the Saints needing to figure out what to do. Tough play, 3rd and long. Out of the gun now on 3rd down. Flushed out right. And he'll get this up past the 25 before he's out of bounds. He'll wind up getting 4 yards there on his own, but it also brings up 4th down.
He didn't like what he saw downfield, decided his best course of action was to take off and run. And that ended up being a gamble that did not pay off for him. Now they would have to gamble again if they want to keep this series going.
Desperation time. Winston on 4th down. And he's brought down. Can't do anything with a football. It's a sack and a turnover on downs. They had to go for it with such little time remaining. And now possession's going to go over with a football at the 20-yard line. First down, here's White. And he'll take this inside the 20 and down to the 18. On the stop there defensively, Marcus May with the tackle.
You know that old expression, it's not my night? It hasn't been his so far. I don't know if the legs are a little bit heavy. Sometimes having to hang out all day and play doesn't exactly play to your advantage, but it's been a tough go for him.
Every time he looks up, somebody's there defensively. That was the same case on that play. Just a couple on the pickup there, and now it's 3rd down. 2 yards on the first down carry, and then followed up by 2 yards on the second down carry.
Well, that's definitely not going to be enough to get the job done. Wasn't the expression 3 yards in a cloud of dust?
Now they're going to need 6 on 3rd down to keep the drive going. Now, this was not just the opener of a brand new season, but this was a division game here in week 1, and to come